Hello, everybody. It's Elizabeth here, and I wanted to come in and talk to you about something today. And I'm also over here on this camera. Hello, Instagram. I am broadcasting on Instagram as well. So if Instagram people see me look over here, it's because I'm looking into the camera for Facebook and vice versa. And we're also on YouTube. So I think we're in all of the places. So today I wanted to talk about a project management training, and to share a thought around whether or not it is the be all and end all of what we need to do our jobs. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Elizabeth Harrin. I am a project manager by trade and a project management trainer, author, mentor, thought leader. I don't really like that term, but those are the kind of things that I do when I am not leading projects myself. So what I often hear from people, because I do a lot of mentoring and I work with a lot of organizations to tell the story of their projects internally or talk about project management. And what I'm hearing is that people need to get project management training. And I am totally on board with that. As somebody who delivers project management training for organizations and individuals, I totally get the value of being able to do training. But today we want to flip the script, because for too long, this profession has been all about getting certification to tick the box to say you've got an exam. Now, let's set the record straight with what it means to build a successful project management career. And it means having the skills to do the job and the confidence to work with senior managers without feeling like a secretary, which is kind of important, right? But overall, taking a course, ticking a box, saying you've got an exam doesn't magically make you a wonderful project manager overnight. And I say this as someone who writes content, writes project management training courses. I create courses, I teach project management, and many of my wonderful friends and connections on Facebook and on Instagram also do the same thing. So their classes are great. I like to think my classes are great too. And I'm not anti-training by any stretch of the imagination. But taking exams is not the end of your professional development, and it's not the thing that is suddenly going to supercharge your career and make you have an amazing opportunity. For many employers, it will open doors and give you the opportunity to take that next step. But for some employers, they probably won't even care that you've taken some training. I'm just seeing some people following on Instagram, so that's fantastic. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Hello, Steve, Sophia, Ajaybo. Oh, I've probably said that wrong. Ajaybo. Yeah, nice. A little wave over there to you guys. Let's check comments on Facebook as well. So if you are wanting to join in and chat about project management training today, you can leave a comment underneath the video. While I'm doing it live, I might not get to everybody and catch up with what people are saying, but I will try to answer questions as I see them come in. So by all means, do comment below, whether you're on Facebook or on the Instagram camera. Hi, Instagram people. All right. So I create courses for a living, but I am here to tell you today that training is not the be all and end all for your whole career. So are you ready to forget everything that you think you know about project management courses in order to have the successful career that I'm guessing that you want, right? There's lots of ways to build professional development and to learn more about being a project manager. Oh, someone from Georgia. Oh, I wonder if that's Layla. It hasn't come up with your name, Layla, but if it is you, then that's amazing. Hi. So there's lots of different ways that you can get project management training through a PMI chapter, for example, if that's the person I think it is who's just commented on Facebook. General Project Management 101 classes, like what I teach, exam-based classes for Prince 2, for PMI courses, like the Project Management Professional exam, and they are both excellent for the discerning project manager who would like to learn more about, both popular options, Prince 2 and PMP, for people who are wanting to get certified in project management. And they are in-depth. There are also in-depth course specifics. So if you are in the Project Management Cafe Facebook group, then look out, because my friend Todd is launching a new course, and very soon he will be sharing some information about that, and he's going to share that in the Facebook group. He doesn't know that I'm going to say this, so it might not be available yet, but Todd, when you watch this back, or if you're listening, we're all waiting on tenterhooks for your deep dive course into risk management. Okay, so I teach a masterclass, for example, on stakeholder engagement. So there's lots of different ways that you can dig into subjects within project management, as well as get that big overview picture as well. Hi, Diana. I took an in-house project management course when I first started out. So my company put on a project management course and a bunch of us sat through it and did it. And we learnt a very Prince 2 kind of way of getting things done. And I still have the notes over there on my bookshelf of that particular course. It was kind of tailored, kind of customized, but also not really, because a lot of it's generic stuff, right? So I did that and I sat my Prince 2 exam, and how I wish I'd had the benefit of modern Prince 2 exam simulators at the time I took that exam, because I had to do the whole writing out essays by hand, and that was a lot of work. Anyway, that doesn't matter. The fact that I'm old doesn't and took these exams a long time ago shouldn't make any difference to you. So I did both of those after I got the job. And I've continued to learn about project management ever since through a range of things. And so what I wanted to share with you today is this fact that the mindset of we must take exams, we must get certificates, we must pin them up in our office and show the world that we've passed these difficult tests. That's important, but it's not the be all and end all. And you don't need to pay for a lot of training in 100 different topics to be good at your job. If I'm getting a bit animated about this, I apologize, because I do feel that it's really important. And in fact, I am noticing a trend of people who drop into my direct messages, or who message the Successful Project Managers Facebook page. And they are people who want advice about what course to take, especially at degree level. And people have preconceived notions about what it takes to be a successful project manager and what qualifications and experience and certification you need, but with an emphasis on qualifications and certification, which in my experience is not all that hiring managers look for. So they've got preconceived ideas about what it takes to build a successful project management career, starting with getting a ton of certificates in all of the different courses, everything from a master's degree through to the certificates they've heard a lot of people talk about that might not even be relevant for the work that they want to do in their organization, or even in their country. So they have ideas like, I need a degree in project management. I won't get a job without PMP certification. I have to have X many years of experience before I can even apply for a job. That person has a certificate in something, so I have to get that certificate too, despite the fact that they might work in a different industry, in a different country, in a different continent, doing a different type of project. So it feels like people are exhausted about trying to meet this arbitrary set of standards of what a good career looks like. And I am a sign that a good career could look like a range of different things depending on what it is that you want to get out of your career. So if you want to manage bigger projects, if you want to go into program management, portfolio management, all of those take different skills. So there is not one set career path, just like there's no one set certification that is going to be the be all and end all for the whole world. There might be the perfect course for you, but there won't be the perfect course for everybody, because we're all different and we want different things out of life. Because wouldn't it be boring if we all wanted the same thing? So it feels like I say, people are tired of trying to get all the right ticks in the boxes. So what I wanted to get across to you today is that you don't have to think like that. You don't have to think certifications are good, but they're not the be all and end all. Now, I know the world has moved on quite a lot in the last however many years, and project management is definitely a discipline that is evolving. And we are seeing that with things like the Google certification from Coursera, which has got thousands and thousands of people signing up for it. PMI is launching PMI Kickoff, which is a really, really basic free project management training course, which just lasts for, I don't know, I did it in less than an hour. But a lot has changed in the world of certification, and a lot has changed in the world of actually physically doing the projects. And what I'm seeing is people are trying to adapt to that, trying to brush up, and the fact that they've got books on their shelf that are 10 years old, including some that I've written, perhaps aren't helping us adapt to what modern project management needs and what modern careers need, more importantly. However, having said all of those things, the fundamentals of the job have not changed. We still need to do the basics. We still need to manage projects and be aware and alert about what that means. But just because other people have chosen a particular path doesn't make that the right path to you. Right, let me pause for a second, because I've got a question that's come in. Is the CAPM worth it, or should I go directly for PMP? That's a question that's come in on Instagram, so feel free, comment away. I love the comments. If you have enough experience to do the PMP and to apply for PMP, then do it. Don't bother with CAPM. Go straight to PMP. People tend to do CAPM when they don't have enough experience to meet the requirements for the PMP application. So if you don't have enough working hours to be able to qualify for PMP, do the CAPM. But if you've worked as a project manager for some time and you've got enough experience hours, go straight for PMP and just bypass CAPM completely. So hopefully that answers the question. Thank you. That's a really good one. And actually one I get asked quite a lot. So you're not alone in wondering that. So why do, oh, let me just have a drink. Hang on. Because we're live. If it was edited, I would maybe edit out those things. But no, for live, we carry on. So just because other people have chosen a particular path, or, you know, this going for CAPM or PMP, it doesn't make it right for you. And sometimes perhaps we do the training and we still don't get the confidence to be able to do the job. Perhaps you did the exam and your boss did not give you the life-changing pay rise that you were expecting as a result of passing. Perhaps your class covered lots of technical skills, but frankly, nobody in your office cares two hoots about your beautiful documentation, and your whole day is spent just managing office politics and doing all the relationship building stuff. So it's really important, I think, to balance certification, training, formal learning environment with other types of career support that allow you to actually get on and do the work effectively. So what do I mean by that? I mean, it's a way of continuing your professional development that makes sense to you and that it's fun. It makes work feel like it's easy and fun. And it makes a real difference to the way that you work, and then that's your learning journey that you need to stay on. So that's where you want to go, finding that kind of thing. Somebody has asked, oh, hi, Layla, if they can join the live. And because I'm broadcasting onto YouTube and Facebook, I'm afraid I can't do that today. But keep an eye out and follow me on Instagram. And next time I do a live, or next time I'm in a Clubhouse room, perhaps you can come up on stage and we can chat with that chat. Or send me a message about whatever question you've got. Maybe we can address it. Okay, so project management training is more than just the classroom experience. It's about taking the things that you're curious in and the things you want to do better at and digging into them in a way that suits your lifestyle. So that might be small bite-sized pieces of learning. It might be online videos you can watch on your commute. It might be mentoring, having a coffee with somebody once a week to be able to just, you know, catch up and chat and say what's bothering you. So finding a way to carry on your professional development either before you've got your exam or after, in a way that makes sense for you is really important. Now, pre-recorded training seems to be a lot of where we are going at the moment, especially with COVID, because it's really hard to get into training centres and learn live in a classroom setting. And it's great for some things. And I do have a few courses. I have a few very, very good courses, if I do say so myself, on change management and stakeholder engagement, stuff like that. And I know my students love those and get value from them. And I had a lovely email yesterday, actually. I need to ask if I can share that testimonial, because it was, yes, I was lovely to read how my training is making a difference to people, but I want to find out that it's okay to share what she said before I go and broadcast it on a live video. But sometimes, you know, pre-recorded is not what you need. So I want to just help people come to the conclusion that you don't have to do project management professional development in one particular way because everybody else is doing it, or because that's what you see pushed on all of the different channels, including my own. So drop the idea that you know everything you need to know about project management you can pick up from some YouTube videos. Forget the idea that there's only one way to do every piece of project management, because that's what you saw written in a how-to article. And we need to think about training and professional development in a different way. As a project manager, your training and professional development needs to be rounded, tailored, specific to you, Instagram people, to you, Facebook and YouTube people in that camera. Okay, so this is how I learned, through a combination of conferences, reading, mentoring, experience, living it, failing, picking myself up off the floor and then having to deal with it again, deal with the issues, coaching, and getting feedback, 360 feedback from my manager, from my peers, from my coach, that kind of stuff. So that really helped as well. And it's a lot of rounded type of professional development. And now the way I support project managers taps into all of those. And I think, if I'm honest, it's about going back to basics. So what were the best project management professional development look like if we didn't have the preconceived idea that an exam-based course is the answer? How can I get people from where they are to the next level, where they need to be, in a way that is the perfect fit for them? Because that's what's important, really, isn't it? We don't have this one-size-fits-all thing anymore. We need to do tailoring in project management, and we want to do tailoring in the way that we learn as well. And that's how I came up with the idea of Project Management Camp. So all of this has been a very long-winded way of leading up into something that I wanted to tell you about. And if you've been following me on any of the channels, actually, you may well have seen I've been talking about Project Management Camp for a few days. Not a lot, but I do know, I'm proud of it. I want to get the word out. So it's a different way of doing professional development because it's got to be tailored to you. And you might be sitting there thinking, oh, but PMP certification is what I want to invest in. That's my future. Fine. If you already know that that's where you want to go, then PM Camp is not the right choice for you. But if you're thinking the exam is hard, I'm not sure it's going to give me everything I need, it's a big investment, and it's a bad, but I don't know if I want to do that, or I've already done that. I did that 5 years ago, and I still want to continue learning in a way that supports me to the next level, which might be program management, portfolio management, setting up a PMO in my organization, setting up a culture of project management where actually people take a mature attitude to getting work done in a structured way. And we all know that can be a challenge. So if you know already that your project management career requires a certification, then that's absolutely what you should do. Go ahead and get that. But lots of project managers, including myself, don't have the PMP certification. Now, I could probably recite large chunks of PMBOK 7 and very soon PMBOK 6. I've only read PMBOK 7 just the one time so far, but I know I'm going to be reading it many, many more times. So I feel like I'm immersed in the world of PMI. I've been a member for many years. I've gone to a lot of their events. I don't think I'm a member of the UK chapter at the moment, but I have been in the past. So I'm certainly not anti the certificate. I've just never got around to doing it, and it's always felt a bit hard. And if I'm truly honest, I've always felt that if I didn't pass it first time, I'd be embarrassed because I'd have to come onto a live like this and tell you guys that I'd failed. And that's a bit of a mental block for me. So what I mean is it's never been something that's held me back in my career. And I'm a fellow of the Association for Project Management in the UK, which I feel is also a recognition of my professional achievements. So I'm not particularly bothered, and none of my UK-based employers have ever required me to have PMP certification. So if it's the right thing for you, by all means, go out and get it. If you've got it already, or if you don't think it's the right thing for you, then you need to look around and see what other alternatives there are for you to have a continued investment in your professional development. So, that's fine. It's okay. There's lots. What is personal to you is your career success and what opportunities you want and where you might want to work in the future. And it's fine to make those choices that depend on you taking the next step in your career in the right direction. Another thing to bear in mind is I've worked with people who have struggled under exam settings, and while they've had easily the most, they've known everything, they've been a solid pair of hands, but they've really struggled with actually passing the exam under exam conditions because it's an exam, and as adults, we don't really take exams, and that was a real blocker for them. And they thought I'll use they thought they would struggle because they didn't have this piece of paper, but they were a really good project manager, and in the end they got it, but it was a struggle and a source of stress. Right, another question has come in on Instagram. Which is more famous and in demand, Prince2 or PMP? Good question. What is more famous? Depends who you ask, I suppose. I think that's a strange question. What's more in demand will depend on which industry you want to work in. If you want to work in the government sector in the UK or in Europe, then Prince2 was very much in demand, and now the UK government, I can't speak for anyone else, is moving more towards APM standards and qualifications. But Prince2 has a great grounding in UK business and in many European organisations as well. And people take Prince2 certifications all around the world. So the question shouldn't be which is more famous or which is more in demand. It's what does my employer want? So if you want to work in a government setting, Prince2 could well be what you need. If you want to work in an American bank, then maybe PMP is a de facto requirement. So there's a lot to say about what industry do you want to work in, what country do you want to work in, of what do employers value, because there's no point getting a certification that doesn't open doors for you in your career, because you will have just spent time and money on something that might give you a sense of personal satisfaction, and that's not a bad thing, but it's not actually going to help. Right, qualifying that by saying for the IT industry, in which case I would say neither do an Agile certification. Again, that's a huge a huge generalization, but certainly what we're seeing in the IT industry is much more move towards Agile software development, Agile ways of working. So something that will, if you still wanted to stay with the PMI certification, then the PMI Agile certified professional would be an option, or something like a Scrum Master or DSTM, something like that, that would support. But the key is really look at job adverts for the kind of job that you want and see what they're asking for, because that's what you want to get. Talk to people in your network, look at people's profiles on LinkedIn and find out what certifications they have, and then think, okay, that's the kind of job I want, I'm going to go and get that too. So you know, there's no one simple answer. You might find IT shops that are Scrum, you might find IT shops that are using a different methodology or none at all. Digital project management tends to work very much with Agile methods, but IT departments within a large corporate might use other tools. We certainly did everything on an iterative basis using a Prince2 light methodology when I worked in IT. Okay, so that's a great question. Thank you so much for asking. That was really, it's just really good to know that people are there and watching and listening. So thank you. And if you're watching this on replay after the event, then please just, you know, stick your comments below. I'll get an alert. I'll catch up with them after. So project management as a career can be an amazing, inspiring, wonderful place that allows you to deliver real change for your organization and for your community. And it's a job that's full of variety, creativity, interest, and, you know, fun, good stuff. Or it can be a pain in the backside that's a lot of late nights and crying over your keyboard. And I have done both of those. I've done both. And it's a roller coaster of a job. So you don't need to follow the same path as everyone else. You don't need to look at all these Instagram posts and see all the people who are sharing glossary terms. All of that stuff is great, but if it's not where you want to go, then it's a distraction. So how are you going to take the next step in your career? If you're in the right place for a training course, then sign up, go for that. This is a great time of year to be investing in professional development, because everybody's got that kind of back to school, fresh mentality, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. But if you've been there and done that and you still feel like there is something missing, then it's time to stop believing that a classroom will give you all the answers and start looking for something different. Something that is tailored to you and where you want to be. Something supportive with just the right amount of challenge to get you where you need to be next, but something that is tailored and personal and time bound as well, to give you a sense of accountability for getting stuff done. Because if you've ever thought about doing a course and then not actually ever got round to signing up for it, you know that that can be a bit of a challenge. So something that is where you can develop the skills and confidence with people who are cheering you on. And that's what I think Project Management Camp will do. It's a 10-week professional development experience for a small group. So I'm looking for a small group of people to come along and join me in Project Management Camp. We'll meet for 10 weeks. We start on the 20th of September. It's a blend of one-to-one time as well as weekly group calls. We're also doing document review, which is something very interesting that I'm not seeing any other trainers do at the moment, where you can submit your paperwork, submit your project reports, taking out anything that's super confidential, or maybe your templates. And me or one of my other coaches will give you some support and feedback about how we could perhaps improve that to make sure that your messages are landing and that your communication is really clear. So it's a blend of one-to-one time, group call time, access to a library of training courses, weekly accountability, and document review. So it's a whole package. It runs over 10 weeks. And if it's something that you think you'd be interested in, then drop me a message or send me an email, or go to girlsguidetopm.com/camp, and you'll see all of the information and how to apply. At the moment, we're doing it by application only, because I want to make sure that I'm curating a small group of people who will really benefit and who I think I can help. So by all means, fill in the application form, and I look forward to perhaps seeing you inside. If you have any questions about this or any other type of professional development, then by all means get in touch. And I look forward to chatting to you soon on my next live video. Take care. Bye. Instagram people.